City Councilor Tanya Fernandez Anderson has announced she'll resign, and she's expected to plead guilty in a federal corruption case.
Do you remember this Boston City Councilor? We talked about this in a video a long time ago. The one that swore that she did nothing wrong, was out resisting the calls to resign.
What the do I have to do in this council in order to get respect as a black woman?
A Boston City Councilor is reportedly under federal investigation. That Tanya Fernandez Anderson is at the center of this investigation.
Well, yeah, she just pled guilty and now she's quitting. Let's get into it.
The councilor says she is pleading guilty and resigning because it is the right thing to do. Now the Boston City Council has to figure out what to do with her seat and how to restore public trust.
People have the right to their opinion. I think that they should afford, the privilege that everyone has to due process.
That was embattled Boston City Councilor Tanya Fernandez Anderson in December, resisting resignation in the wake of her federal corruption case. But now federal prosecutors say the 46-year-old lawmaker will plead guilty to wire fraud and theft from a program receiving federal funds.
Theft from a program receiving federal funds. That is pretty serious. I mean, stealing from the feds, not a great idea. That's next level greed. We're not talking about swiping paper clips from an office or slipping a few miles on the expense report. This person was out funneling money that's meant for the people into her own private account. You know how wild you gotta be to mess with federal money? So let me explain this in regular people terms. Imagine your city gets a grant to help folks fix the roads, feed the hungry, patch up the school budget. Now imagine someone who's supposed to make sure that that happens just dips their hand in the pot like it's their own money and just walks off. That's not mismanagement, that's robbing the community in broad daylight. And the wildest part about this, she didn't even deny it. She said she's pleading guilty because it's the right thing to do. Lady, the right thing to do wouldn't have been committing fraud in the first place. That's like stealing someone's wallet and then giving it back to them after you spent the money and said, yeah, man, I felt bad. It's too late. All those groceries probably been brought. All those clothes are already been brought and used. It's too late. That's where the stakes really hit. This is not just about one crooked politician. It's about the public trust in general. People are already skeptical of their local government. You ever tried to call City Hall? You probably get a quick response writing a note and attaching it to a pigeon. When someone's in power confirms your worst suspicions that the game is rigged, it's all fake, all self-serving, and it makes people check out completely. When folks start believing, they stop voting, they stop showing up, they stop giving a damn. And who takes over? The next clown in line. So yeah, this isn't just a random situation. This is someone lighting a fuse on a much bigger fire, because if the programs are meant to help people are being used to scam people, then what's even the point of having them?
In her own words, she's resigning, saying in a statement, "I would like to apologize to my constituents, supporters, and all who have been impacted. Please forgive me."
It would have been nice once you got caught and you got hit with that indictment to finally say, you know what, you're right, I got caught, I messed up. But she said that she did nothing wrong. She really denied this in the beginning when this story came out a couple of months ago. Now she realized that the writing's on the wall and now she's looking for forgiveness. But is she really sorry? Or she's just doing what she has to do to reduce the amount of time that she may get in federal prison?
Unfortunate what has happened, and it seems that there's been some sense of justice reached here.
Fernandez Anderson could spend a year in prison if federal prosecutors have their way.
Residents of District 7 and across the city rightly should have representation, and public officials rightly should be held to a high standard. So I called initially for resignation months ago.
So this is the big problem here, and this is why she's in trouble with the feds. Anderson pulled off the family and friends payroll scheme like it was a backyard cookout. She hired her cousin or whoever it was, cut her a $13,000 bonus check, and then told her, run me that $7K back. So that's not slick high-level corruption here. That's like Venmo level fraud. Hey fam, here's your bonus, now cash at me, half back. All this can be tracked. I mean, are you really serious? But who taught her true embezzlement? Instagram or something? That's just the kind of mess that you see on, I don't know, Judge Mathis or something. So honestly, if this wasn't real life, you would just think this is some kind of really silly sitcom here, except with worse acting. But here's what makes this situation dangerous. It is not just a kickback. It's how easy she made it look. Like public office is just another hustle that you can clock in, move some money around, finesse a check without anyone noticing. And the scary part of all of this is she probably wouldn't have got caught if she wasn't already under the microscope. How many other people are doing the exact same thing but just haven't slipped up yet? And let's talk about the audacity of it all, because while she's out there orchestrating a literal scammy family reunion on the city's payroll, regular people out there are struggling to avoid eggs. Rent is extremely expensive. Boston is expensive to live. Groceries are dumb expensive. Teachers are buying their own school supplies, but somehow Tanya found the time and the nerve to give her cousin a fake check just to launder money through her own damn office. She didn't even try to hide it. No shell company, no consulting firm, not even a fake LLC. It's just, hey relative, here's some government money, split it with me. That's the kind of plan you make up in a rush when you're really desperate and your light's about to get cut off, but not when you're sitting in the city council seat. So this situation is not just embarrassing, it's pretty corrosive. It's telling the community, this job isn't really about helping you, it's about helping me. And when those politicians start turning public service into family business, unfortunately, everyone pays the price, except them.
The feds say Fernandez Anderson hired her relative in 2022, then gave her a $13,000 bonus, but then pocketed $7,000 as a kickback amid financial struggles. As part of the plea deal,
she couldn't just, that's not even half. Damn. Why you had to take 7? Why you couldn't just take a 20%, take 3 or 4? No, I want most of that money. Damn, I'm greedy.
Fernandez Anderson also admitted she filed fraudulent federal income tax returns in 2021, 2022, and 2023, but won't be charged with tax offenses.
So she's admitting to filing fake tax returns, not alleged. This is not an ongoing investigation. She straight up said, I confess. And the feds looked at that, nodded, and said, we're good. Excuse me? When the IRS comes after you for sneezing during tax season, you forget to click one box on TurboTax. They're ready to send you letters, multiple letters, and checking your student loan payments from 2015. But this woman admits to cooking the books for 3 years straight, and the government just says, let's not worry about that right now. I tell you, man, it's like robbing a bank and then turn yourself in, and the cops go, well, yeah, you brought the money back, so we're chilling. I mean, what are we doing here? We all got to deal with taxes. We all hate it. But this situation just is confusing. If a regular citizen did this, lied 3 years on their federal tax returns, they'd be having some serious issues. They'll be already worried about going to prison. But I guess when you have a little bit of power, you get a little slap on the wrist and just drop those charges for convenience. Convenience for who, really? And this is where it hits harder, because it's not just that she lied, it's the people who were supposed to hold her accountable, they didn't bother. It's like telling these folks, hey, you're connected, you're protected. If you're not, good luck. You're on your own. It brings this energy that you can scam. Just make sure that you say sorry in a nice press release and then they'll call it even. I think that's a bad way of running things, not because it lets crooks walk, but because it tells every other public official that, hey man, you can kind of get this around if you don't spend too much money or you don't do too much damage. It's crazy.
Major ethics reform in the city of Boston.
In the interest of transparency, Councilor Flynn, who also called for the resignation, says councilors should disclose their taxes.
We lost a lot of credibility. We lost a lot of respect that we've had from the residents of Boston. We have to regain that.
Now,
Well, duh. I mean, this is the part of every scandal where someone shows up on the mic, puts their most somber church voice and starts talking about trust. A lot of this credibility has not necessarily been misplaced. It was burnt. It's burnt in front of the whole damn city. This woman went cooking the books unchecked. She went out there hiring relatives, pulling kickbacks, scamming taxes, and no one said boo until the feds kicked in the door like, surprise, we've been waiting. And let's be honest, this is probably happening in multiple political positions in this city and across the country. Ethics left the building a long time ago. This is why people don't trust politicians. Not because mistakes happen. It's because when that mask slips, they act brand new. We must rebuild trust. No, just rebuild the office. Rebuild the oversight. Where are the audits? Where are the receipts? Where are the council members where she was out there handing bonuses like she was Oprah or something like that in a recession? Let's not forget, this wasn't a one-time lapse. This is a multi-stepped heist. It wasn't like she tripped over some ethics paperwork. She put this fraud together. She put the plot together. And the whole time the council was like, well, we didn't know. So what do you guys know? Because if someone on your team can scam federal funds and run a tax cheat side quest, and you don't catch a whiff of this until CNN is knocking, either you don't care or you're really bad at your job. So now they're doing the PR cleanup, talking about transparency and tax disclosures. I mean, it's great, the money's gone, but hopefully they could do something so this doesn't happen again. But come on, they all know this is happening behind closed doors.
Councilors have to decide what happens to Fernandez Anderson's District 7 seat.
We know she's guilty now, so I mean, she needs to deal with everything. So I wish her, luck going forward. But as one of the members on the City Council, I have a strong feeling about making sure that we move this along quickly and we get back to the business.
And councilors tell us tomorrow night they'll be discussing whether to have a special election for District 7 to replace the councilor.
So I guess they're going to have her replaced soon. But talking about Fernandez here, she was a person that turned her office into some kind of side hustle. She hired a member, finessed a fake bonus, lied to IRS for 3 years, and only stepped down when the feds pulled up. So she didn't resign because of some moral awakening. She resigned because she got caught. So what did she get? A plea deal, no tax charges, maybe a year in prison, maybe. Meanwhile, regular folks catch charges for way less and end up doing real time. That's not justice, in my opinion. That's just a discount version of justice they roll out for people in power. So now the city is scrambling to patch the hole, special elections, PR cleanup, trust rebuilding press conferences, a lot of performative energy that never really shows up until before the scandal. It's always after the fire that they want to install the smoke detector. So what do you guys think about this story? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.